European Union countries can use €225 billion in untapped loans from the EU's Recovery Fund to address energy problems and other challenges resulting from the Russian war in Ukraine. The European Union launched an unprecedented €800 billion joint borrowing program last year to help its 27 members recover from the COVID-19 pandemic and turn their economies greener. But instead of the pandemic, governments are now grappling with a cost of living crisis caused by surging energy prices after Russia stopped much of its EU gas deliveries in retaliation for the bloc's support for Ukraine. The EU executive plans to raise around €140 billion by imposing windfall taxes on energy companies' abnormally high profits. Also redirecting proceeds to households and businesses struggling with soaring bills. Fossil fuel extractors will be asked by the EU to give back 33% of taxable surplus profits for the 2022 fiscal year. The Commission wants EU member states to sign up to a legally binding target to cut electricity use by 10% overall and by 5% during peak hours, via efficiency campaigns and incentives. The tumbling cost of renewable energy means transitioning away from fossil fuels over the next 30 years will save the world at least $12 trillion. The decarbonization of the energy system will not only see a major reduction in the cost of producing and distributing energy, but will also allow for greater levels of energy to be produced and therefore help expand energy access around the planet. The faster the transition to renewables occurs, the greater the potential for savings. Biden has been a big proponent of EVs, signing into law incentives to encourage consumers to buy them and companies to build them. Biden noted that his administration has put $135 billion toward electric vehicle development and creation. The lack of ubiquitous chargers remains one of the largest barriers for electric vehicles nationwide. Tax credits included in the Inflation Reduction Act are meant to give Americans incentives to purchase electric vehicles, including to buy used electric vehicles for the first time. The U.S. government has set a new 15 gigawatts floating offshore wind target for 2035. It is hoped that achieving the targets will spur billions of dollars of economic opportunities and avoid an estimated 26 million metric tons of carbon emissions annually. Biden set a goal to power 10 million homes with clean energy, support 77,000 jobs and spur private investment along the supply chain. The Biden-Harris administration will create a new, floating offshore wind shot, to accelerate breakthroughs across engineering, manufacturing and other innovation areas. The floating offshore wind shot will aim to reduce the costs of floating technologies by more than 70% by 2035, to $45 per megawatt hour.